Thank you very much for the introduction, and I'll try to share my screen here. Let's see if we can get the technology to work. I think so. So I'm going to talk about this very arrogant book title that we have here, The Invincible Company. And obviously no company can be invincible, but what you can do is constantly reinvent yourself. So if we look at the characteristics of invincible companies, and given COVID-19, we could actually also call it the resilient company, because companies that can withstand disruption are invincible companies. And COVID-19 is a big disruption. So 3 things that characterize invincible companies. The first one is they constantly reinvent themselves. Not when a crisis hits, but before. So they build the structures to be able to reinvent themselves. Second characteristic, they compete on superior business models. They don't just compete on products, service, and price. They don't just innovate technology. What they do is build superior business models. And the last one, really interesting, probably the hardest, they transcend industry boundaries. So you can't classify them anymore saying, oh, that's a bank, that's a pharmaceutical company. Think Apple. Like, where would you classify them? Oh, they make phones. But is it a phone company? Well, they earn money with hardware, but they do software, they do entertainment, they build ecosystems around the apps. So you can't classify them in an industry anymore. So the best companies will break out of the industry boundaries. Now here's the challenge. Vinod Khosla, co-founder of Sun Microsystems and famous investor, he likes to say that, well, the most interesting things, they don't happen at the center, they happen at the edges. So think of this. I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's take an old example. So you might remember these machines here. There used to be a PC industry, and then, long time ago, it was disrupted by a kid in the dorm room. So some of you might remember who that is, Michael Dell. He disrupted the PC industry starting from his dorm room. Can you imagine that? An entire multi-billion-dollar industry was disrupted by a kid. Now what's going on today? Same thing. We have an industry, the car industry, big fat cars, disrupted by an insurgent, a startup coming from nowhere. Now you could say, well, it's just another car company. But is it?